callers, and then I want to go to something else right quick. We got a couple callers. What about JT?
Hey, Ms. Vonda.
Hey, JT, what's going on?
All right. Listen, when I was listening to the press conference, and the Oakland County prosecutor said that the mom had posted on Instagram, I believe it was, that it was a Christmas, that, out shooting with Ian's early Christmas present or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But the mom had stated that it was a present that the dad bought for him.
Okay, very good. Okay. But obviously now they're gonna say that wasn't his. But look at this.
Right.
Think about the family dynamic there. Here's a family that obviously believe in guns, then to the Second Amendment. I got all of that. We got that. You love the Second Amendment. But here's a situation whereby, you're fondly looking at a weapon that can kill people as like a sign of affinity or something good. I mean, what parent celebrates taking their child out with a handgun, whether it's theirs or whether it's the child's? Who does that? I mean, come on.
And I know there are people that like to hunt and things like that.
This ain't the hunting is different. This is not no hunting gun, okay?
Right, absolutely, 100%. And for the gentleman that couldn't understand how they could be charged as accessories, I mean, the circumstances were a little different, but if you just look at this recent situation with the Ahmaud Arbery trial, it was only one person that pulled the trigger, and he got malice murder. The rest of them got charges. They were charged with murder as well, including the guy who held boxing in. So you definitely don't have to be the person that pulled the trigger. And I know they said this is the first time that someone had been charged that way in terms of a school shooting, but you know yourself, the parents have been charged with all types of crimes and things like that had to do with their children. That's not the first time that has happened.
Exactly. No, but with this gun. But see, let me tell you what they want to do. They want to make it a Second Amendment issue and get all of this money coming in to be able to help them with their defense. This is not, I don't see the NRA saying we want to deal with this one, because you got kids that's been killed. They're not jumping on this one, I don't think. But you never know.
No, you're probably right. No, you're right. You're probably right, because they did with the Rittenhouse situation, but you're right. The fact that it was a school shooting like that.
Now, the Rittenhouse was different because, right, the Rittenhouse was different. You had adults, and the underlying theme is what? It was dealing with police protection against an African-American shooting. It had racial overtones. So they was okay with that.
Absolutely.
But this got kids involved.
Right. Yeah, that would not be a good look. You're right. The NRA likes to jump to the defense of certain situations, but you're right. With the kids involved and stuff, I don't think even they would stoop that low. I don't think that would be a good move for them from a political standpoint. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much. This is a situation where, traditionally we know that the NRA, they support gun rights, and they fund those gun rights by paying lawyers who to defend individuals and have fundraisers like they did with Kyle Rittenhouse. I believe it raised almost $2 million in his defense for those situations. But even they hand select the cases that they want to be involved with. Obviously, the parents being charged with involuntary manslaughter, you could look at it from a point of view, well, they have a Second Amendment right. They stored the gun, that it should be some violation of a local storage ordinance. But hey, I didn't know my child was capable of this. I didn't know he would do that. I got that. But when you look at the other situations, number one, when you as a parent were informed that your child was drawing guns and bullets and talking about killing people, you left without your child. Strike one. Number two, you have on Instagram, social media, whatever it is, and I don't know which it was because I did not see it, portrayals with you, the mom, saying, let's go out, in she of you, let's go out and take her out with the handgun, strike two. And then when you have it accessible to them, strike three. And then when you find out that your child has killed 4 people, okay, you go withdraw $4,000 from the ATM, and you and your husband, are caught in Detroit, which is not far from the border. Strike 4. You have to look at the circumstances to determine what their intent was. The intent is the secret of the mind. No one knows what I'm thinking, but you can glean a person's intent by their actions, what they do and what they say. And what those actions could appear is that these people had conscious of guilt. They knew what was going on. They did not properly conceal that weapon. They had a lackadaisical attitude about the gun, like that was a badge of honor for this child to even have possession of the gun, ownership, possession, whatever. That, oh, that's cool. Oh, but girl, what you get? I just got Lauren. I just bought her a bad 9mm. Boom. Let me say this. I mean, I got an adult daughter, but that would not be something I would give a child age 15 or allow a child access to. So when you look at all the circumstances surrounding, the issue is, can a jury infer from those circumstances that this wasn't something accidental? Like, I'll give you a prime example. I've had cases where the gun may have been in a lockbox. Okay, the child in an attic. The child went in the attic, took the lockbox, broke it open, and took the gun. We don't have that here, or at least it doesn't appear. We don't know all of the evidence exactly at this time. But what we have to do is, that is how cases are solved. Not solved. That is how cases are presented. They're presented by evidence, which is called circumstantial evidence or direct evidence. Well, obviously, it's no direct evidence that they say kill them. Circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is evidence by itself, or you can infer the existence from something, such as I always used to tell my jurors, if I have a bag of nachos and only and I got a little, and my daughter, I come down and say, who ate the nachos? And she says, no one, but she's the only one. And she said, no one. And she got a little orange in her mouth and a bag on the floor. I can infer from the bag being on the floor and a little orange on her mouth that, in fact, she could have been the one that ate the Doritos. Why? Because we were the only ones that were in the house and looking at those circumstances. Emmanuel Wilson, a Facebook listener, as a former high school principal, he would have been sent home with his parents until a professional evaluation was completed on him. Parents will submit lawsuits against the school and the school district, but they put them out. Why manslaughter? If there is evidence to show that they created a situation where the risk of great bodily harm or death was very high. The risk. Not that you intended that outcome, but the risk was very high, okay? And created a situation where the risk of great bodily harm or death was very high. When you have a lackadaisical attitude about weapons, oh, baby, that's good. I love that. With 30 rounds and 2 magazines, okay, that this boy had. Okay, he didn't have no 2 bullets. 30 rounds and that was capable of holding 2 magazines. You take your child out. It's something of affinity. You probably may have the gun in the kitchen somewhere accessible to him. the issue then will be before that jury and other evidence, which, I don't have, but I'm just doing this by the media. Are there circumstances that warranted, that created a situation where the risk of great bodily harm or death was very high? And those are the things that they're going to be looking at. Obviously, it's not that they pulled the trigger, but did they aid and abet? So let me tell you. So I'm gonna take y'all to school right quick if we got a minute. I had a case many years ago, and a young boy went to his friend and said, "I'm gonna rob a hair store." And he said, "But I don't have any bullets, but I have a gun." His friend gave the bullets. His friend said, "Listen, if you get some hair, give me some for my girlfriend." Said, "Okay." The friend then goes on an airplane to California. Unbeknownst to him, the person that he gave the bullets to went to the store to rob and fatally killed this store owner. They charged the young man that gave him the bullets with felony murder. Why? Although he did not pull the trigger, he was in California in a place completely different, and he only thought they were going to rob. He aided and abetted. He gave encouragement, assistance, knowing that that was possible, that that was foreseeable, that this person could have gotten killed. Quite naturally, the boy said, "I did not think that he was going to kill nobody. I thought he was just going to scare him and just take it." But is it foreseeable? Is the action foreseeable when you go and you pull a gun on somebody, and then that person, I think, either they struggled or they had a heart attack or something like that, but they died, but they charged that other boy. That's called aiding and abetting. So what they're charging them with is not that they were pulled the trigger on these 4 individuals, but their conduct somehow aided and abetted. We'll be back. This is a live show. Listen, I'm gonna stop talking. We'll be back.